I love when we have our little mini pep talks. Our little
Just
mini
like,
pep talks before we press play. Are you ready? It's game time.
Well, I'm surprised we both know how to work our computers, given the fact that we have had a lot of life happening since we tried to come back with the latest season. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. We came back and then just didn't come back. But like, you know, medical emergencies happen and holidays happen and sicknesses happen. And I feel like I'm making a bunch of excuses, but I'm like, bitch, life was lifing. It really was. Wowzers.
I feel like it was a bit of karma, because I feel like right before you had to leave, we were just like, fuck 2023. This year sucked. We hated this year. We're so ready for 2024. And then 2023 was like, hold on, we have a couple weeks left. And boy, did it really swing hard.
It went crazy, especially for two people that are like, I can't really be doing a lot of stuff in one day. Like, you gotta relax. I gotta focus on one thing. I had to do so much stuff, and there was so much travel coordination and so many moving parts to the last 2 weeks of my year.
Yeah.
That it was inevitable that I got very sick. I'm on the tail end of it now. I'm finally a little bit better, but like, I was just in go mode.
Yeah.
Trying to be all things at once. I was in daughter zone when it's concentrated time, and as a family we're coordinating. You know, it's a lot of moving parts. And then Justin Beck had this end of the year tour happening, and he had to move around his stuff because he wanted to be supportive of my family, which was really lovely. He moved around a lot of stuff, and he and I just traveling and the modes of travel that we had to accept, because
it was a lot of planes, trains, and automobiles, and
yes, and last minute planes, trains, and automobiles. So it was a lot of spirit and a lot of frontiers ahead of us, and woo, we survived, and it was a lot of work, and I'm happy to be home, but outside of all that, I don't even want to take this away from you. I want you to regale us. First and foremost, with, although it was a shitty year, it ended for you with quite the bang.
Oh my God.
I still can't believe it. I still really can't believe it.
I literally, like, every single day I have a moment where I'm like, I just want to send you a picture and be like, just never forget.
What are you talking about? I saved the picture in all these different ways. I cut you guys out. I made a bunch of tiny hers and a bunch of tiny yous.
Okay. So
it's just so crazy.
It is.
It's illogical. It's weird.
Wild. Okay. So here we go, friends. Imperfect Strangers listeners, if you have been around this podcast for any amount of time, you know that there's probably a good solid like 5 or 6 episodes wherein I talk about my undying 27-year-long love for the icon Tori Amos. We started off in season 1, episode 2, and I was just like, have you seen her breastfeed a pig? And Melissa was like, what the actual fuck?
100%.
Paint a picture for me, please, because I don't.
Well, I can text it. You text it to you?
I'm looking at it right now, actually.
Okay.
She's sitting in a chair with a dirty leg.
Yes. She's very fancy. She likes like fancy shoes, and I bet she smells good.
Yes. She looks really rich, actually.
Right?
She looks very rich.
Oh, so fun fact. When I graduated from college, I got a job down at the Stewart News, which was in east coast of Florida, just north of West Palm Beach, like 30 minutes. And when I was down there interviewing, I was talking to the other designers in the newsroom, and one of them asked me what kind of music I like to listen to. And of course, the first name out of my mouth is Tori. She had a house there. And she was like, yes, I saw her once at the Barnes and Noble. Like, it was like a small beach town, so like not huge. So like the chances of running into her when she was there. Yes. And so I was just like, oh my God, I have to get this job because now like I can maybe meet Tori like in the wild. So I got the job and I never saw her, but a hurricane happened shortly after I had moved down there, and somebody's boat washed up onto her like beach in her backyard, and they did a whole story about how like the numbers had been wiped off the boat and they couldn't find the owner, and she really needed to get this like boat out of her. And I just kind of like creeped right by the reporter as he was doing the recording on the phone, like, can I?
And you saw her?
No, I didn't get to see her.
Never saw her that whole time?
No, it's super and we go back there to vacation now. It's super anticlimactic, but I think she's we've talked about concerts and we've talked about new albums, and I think at one point, well, here, let me not bury the lead. I went on vacation for Christmas with my family and I met Tori Amos.
It's inconceivable, really, because honestly, I thought I thought you reached the highest echelon of your Tori fandom when I randomly bumped into Justin Beck's former employee.
Yeah.
Who went on to, she actually did the merch at the last Glassjaw show, who went on to now also do merch for Tori Amos. I don't know how. I bumped into her in the mall and I was like, hey girl, how are you? Da da da. She's like, oh, I'm getting ready to go on tour. I said, oh, who are you working with now? She said, Tori Amos. I said, hold on now. And she actually was going to Kentucky or wherever it is that she played that was near you. And I was, and you know, and I hate to ask, but I just straight up asked. I was like, no, I'm going to need, I did. I was like,
I love that for me.
I don't think you understand. I was like, I'm going to need tickets to wherever is closest to Ohio. She's like, yeah, when we get closer to that date, just remind me. And I was like, are you sure? Because I'm really gonna. She's like, Melissa, yeah, don't even worry about it. Yeah, for sure. And I remember texting you. I was standing in the mall in front of Zara, and I was like, yo, I know the person doing Tori Amos merch, and you're going to the show. I thought that was the highest peak. Okay.
It was, trust me, it was a very high. It was a very high because the seats were amazing. I got to see her twice on the Ocean to Ocean tour. So I was pumped. I drove 2.5 hours down and back to see her. So that is the kind of dedication as the kind of fan that I am.
I feel like we have to explain further. It wasn't like that was the intention. It was, you worked there. You and Chris have a very, what do you call that? What's the word I'm looking for? This was a defining portion of your relationship.
Yes,
you know?
Huge. It was like our first time we lived together, but you know, right out of college, like we're starting our lives together. So like this town
is your
like,
place.
Is our place. Like it has this very special place in my heart. It is, if you've ever been to Jensen Beach and been to Stewart, I've had people in the DMs because we were doing our little close friends posting. Like, I mean, you've been around there. It's a beautiful place in Florida. The beaches are lovely. The town is lovely. It has a very small town vibe, that whole Treasure Coast area. So yes, very special place in my heart. I love it. I like physically hurt when we have to leave. Like I love it that much.
And which is why it's even weirder. And I'm telling you, it's like magnets. How do they work?
Water, fire, air, and dirt. Fucking magnets, how do they work? And I don't want to talk to a scientist. Yo, motherfucker.
A lot of it is just very strange, you know?
It is.
How it
really
all
is.
ended up. So, but now I'm getting on a plane. Amanda's there.
Yeah.
I'm getting on a plane to get there. I'm going to be taking my children to my mother-in-law's, and then I'm going to be on a road trip with Justin to visit with my sister and my family, and then I'm going to swoop my kids back up. I'm not even in the airport 10 minutes. And my phone rings. Now, if you've been listening to this podcast for a long time, we only talk on the phone to do the podcast.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so phone calls feel like emergencies. Phone calls feel scary.
They do.
Oh, God, is everything okay? So
Yeah.
my phone rings. And Amanda, I didn't understand a word you said. You sound like you were, first of all, in a tunnel. Melissa! It was Charlie Brown's teacher and like a bunch of breathing. I was like, hold on, what? And I'm in an airport myself. You know what I'm saying? So, and this airport, and it was holiday airport, so everybody's dog was there.
There were a lot of dogs in the airport.
Continue.
Okay. So, so for context, in the town of Stuart, there is a small downtown area, and there are restaurants and shops. It's literally like two parallel streets. There's maybe like 20 businesses kind of in the main area, and then there's a couple on the outsides. So we like to go down there, walk the shops, browse through. So on Friday, we had gone to the beach in the morning, came back to the house, hung out, and then I don't know, maybe around like 4:30, 5 o'clock, everybody was ready to kind of like go out, walk around, browse. There was a record store that Chris wanted to go to. So we drive down, we park the car, and then Chris and the boys go off to do their thing, and Quinn and I go off to do our thing. So we walk up the one street, we pop into a couple shops, I buy my sister a pair of earrings, and we cross the street and start to come back. Now, on the side of the street where we were, these shops open to the street that we are on, and they also open to the street that runs parallel. So you can enter in the back of the shop and walk through to the other side. That's important. So as we're walking back up the street, there is a shop, and it is not my style of clothing. It is very expensive, but they do have pajamas that Quinn likes. And so I was like, do you just want to go in and browse? And she was like, eh. And I said, well, they have roller rabbit jammies. Do you want to go look? And she was like, oh, yeah, okay. So we walk into the back of the store, and we start to kind of like look at little things. And as we start to walk through to the front, we stop and look at jewelry. And so we start to make our way out to the front, because that's where I remember the jammies being. And the cash wrap, as I come out of this little like hallway, because it kind of gets narrow into this hallway and then opens back up into the front of the shop. To my left is the cash wrap, and I hear Tori's voice, and I stopped.
And are you confused?
I'm like, so here's the thing. I don't know, like everything has frozen, because before we left, I had the feeling, I thought this is going to be the time. But I try not to psych myself up, because like I said, every time I go, I think maybe this is the time. But I had this knowing before we left that this was it. So I hear her voice.
You manifested that motherfucker. I'm going to tell you that.
Bitch, that's what I said to her. I put my hand on the counter. I reached out and I gently touched her forearm, and I said, excuse me, Tori? And she looked up at me, and I said, I manifested this. I can't believe this is happening right now. And she takes off her sunglasses and puts them down and looks at me, and she goes, you must be really powerful if you manifested this. Meanwhile, my kid is standing behind me, scrolling her phone like every 14-year-old in the world. And she goes, Tori Amos. She has no idea. I later find out that she was like, I was wondering why you were talking to this woman in the store. I thought, she's like, I heard you say I manifested this. She was like, I thought she read your tarot cards or like did a psychic reading for you. And she was like, I had no idea why my mom was like stopping talking to this woman being like, I manifested this. So now I'm like losing my mind. And it's just verbal diarrhea out of my mouth. I am like, oh my God, I have to tell my dad. My dad is in the Philippines. My dad used to drive me to your shows all the time when I was a kid because I couldn't drive. And I'm just like, I'm hyperventilating, hands on my knees. My knees are shaking. I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm making this weird. She's like, I was like, this is my daughter, Quinn. I go, oh my God, this would be like if you met Taylor Swift when you were 41. I turned back around. I was like, I'm so sorry. And her daughter goes, your hair is very beautiful. I was like, thank you so much. And then Tori goes, this is Tosh and this is Kelsey. And I was like, Tosh, I know you because
Wait a second. I didn't know you met her children too.
yeah, her daughter and her niece were with her too.
I know they were standing there like, this scenario has played out probably.
Oh, I'm
in
sure.
front of them before.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It was a celebrity sighting, except for that in this particular very personal case, you were meeting your person.
Dude, I could not get it together. I was like trying to deep breathe. I was like trying to, because I think there was somebody in the comments, I think it was our stranger friend Jenny. She was like, how do you talk to the person that you have like sobbed while singing their lyrics because they like hit you in such an intense place? Like, how do you thank someone like fully for art that has like really grown with you? I mean, from a 14-year-old kid to a grown woman, like that's a long time of, you know,
shaping your life.
Yes.
And she's special, important.
Yes.
And they're in the flesh though. Like that's the piece of it. They're in the flesh, and like for me it's like, how did, because you know you could have left 10 minutes later,
right? We could have not even walked into the store.
You could have left 10 minutes early. Correct. She could have been like, I don't give a damn about those pajamas. A lot of things had to line up.
Yes. Yes.
For that very chance encounter.
Oh, trust me, I have sliding doors my whole life back to the first time that I listened to her, and then choices that happened as a result of being in the place where I was when I first heard her. Like, I have walked through and mindfucked like every single scenario and like every single way that things could have turned out differently. And I really have to believe, when I walked out after I talked to you, I literally looked up at the sky and I was like, whoever's responsible for this, thank you so very much. I was like, I don't know like what I've done to deserve this, but like I have been waiting for this for a very long time. Thank you so much.
But that you were ready, like a piece of you knew. Like, I don't even know if we're explaining it right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure people listening to this have had that chance encounter with their person that they've always wanted to meet, where they're just like, yeah, how are you in front of me? What the fuck? This is not anything like yours. But it's like when I bumped into gay Justin Beck in Manhattan. I was just like, how the fuck? He didn't change my life, but he is the gay version of Justin Beck. That's kind of fucking weird. And you're here and I'm here and so is he. But you know what I'm saying? Like, just weird. Just the chanciest chance encounters. Just how?
And like with my kid at the same age that like I discovered her, and she was so gracious and lovely, and I was just like, I was like, oh my God, can we please take a picture together? And so I hand Quinn my camera, and so we stand together and we take the picture, and I am just like, my face hurts so bad from like I'm like trying to stop crying but also smile. She's so lovely. She takes her glasses back on my face.
I zoomed in. I zoomed in when you sent me the picture. I zoomed in on your face, and it was like half ecstasy, half terror.
My one eyebrow is so oddly shaped, I think, because like half of my face is crying, but the other half is so happy.
It was like you were in like, it was like sheer emotional paralysis, but you knew you had to be happy. You knew you had to look right because you like already were mind fucking. Like, oh God, I'm leaning forward, I'm leaning on a wall, I can't breathe right, I'm sweating and shit, I done told her weird shit, oh fuck. And you're trying to get the picture right because you also know I gotta fucking post this picture. This is a very important picture because I'm gonna tell the story for the rest of my life. I gotta look right, and like you can see on your face that you're trying so hard to have like a natural, glowy, candid smile, but you're also like, you look fucking terrified. I don't know why. First thing I did my 2-finger, it was like Google Maps. I said, boink, boink, boink. I opened it up. And then I screenshot it and I sent that back to you. Like, that's the first.
So rude.
I was happy for you. I was, because I was just standing in the airport like, what do you mean? Wait, you gotta come. You gotta slow down. Amanda, you gotta slow. I can't hear you. Amanda. Shh. Amanda. What do you mean? You met her? Tori Amos? What? So, like, I'm trying to understand you on this phone call, and then you're like, I'll send you the picture. I get the picture, and the first thing I do is embiggen. The word of 2024 again will be, I think it was the word of the year on another season, but embiggen. It always comes back full circle.
It does.
I embiggened, and it was just like, this is a clarifying, defining moment of her life. And you
really
kept it
is.
together.
Whew.
You kept it together because I saw in the one eyeball that was really fighting to keep that tear inside.
Oh, God.
You found me, burning, burning in despair. You said then, I know, dear, it has been a brutal year. Take my shattered dreams, wash them away, out with the tide. Take these shattered dreams.
Okay, so you posed for the pic.
Yeah, so I posed for the picture, and then I turned to look at her, and she takes her glasses off again. Like, I say this because she stopped to listen to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, here's
Yeah.
this woman accosting her, living her life. There's literally no one else in the shop. She's out shopping a couple days before Christmas with her kid and her niece. She can come to this place and really be like a normal ass person, right? Like, I mean, it's not like I'm running into Taylor Swift, so I'm sure she's not like being followed by paparazzi everywhere she goes. But at the same time, like, this is a place where she can like come and just like be a regular person. So I turned to her and she takes off her glasses again, and I was like, I just want to tell you, and I was, because the latest album that came out was released like right at the time when my dad had gone into the hospital, and a lot of the themes deal with like COVID, you know, like the separation and the relationship issues, the feeling of isolation, rather, is what I should say, like during COVID, and then she lost her mom. So there's a lot of themes of just like loss and sadness. And so I would just put the album on. I would either come down here and put it on the record player, or I'd, you know, put it in my headphones. And at the time when my dad was really sick, I find that cleaning for me is a way to find control when I feel very out of control. So I would just listen, and I would cry, and I would clean. And so I looked at her and I was like, thank you so much. I was like, Ocean to Ocean. I said, it came out when my dad was in health crisis, and I would just put it on and clean my house and cry. And she just looked at me and she just nodded, and she was like, it's okay, I know. And then after that, I was just like, okay, I've taken too much of her time. And I was like, thank you so very much. I was like, I'm sorry to disturb you, like, while you're doing your shopping, so I'm gonna leave now. And I was like, sorry for making it weird, guys. And I looked at Quinn and I was like, do you still want to look at stuff? By this point, like, Quinn was like, get me out of here.
You were like, good, because I gotta lay down. I
really did. I could not function the rest of the night.
Oh, the day was over. What are you talking about? I thought your vacation was over. I was like, oh, she ain't gonna recover from this. But she is a mess.
Melissa, I could not. Like, we went in, so there's another store next door that has cute little like tchotchkes and clothes and jewelry, and so Quinn wanted to go in there, and I took her in there, and I tried to look. I couldn't focus.
Nope.
I felt like somebody had like pumped me full of cocaine. I was just like vibrating. I was like calling people. I called you first. Chris didn't answer the phone, so I had to send him a picture. I'm trying to call my dad. I called my sister. I had
shaking
to go
and
outside
shit,
and sit.
sweating.
Yes.
Deodorant
I like had to go
not
outside
working.
and sit. Oh my God. Like, I'm
it was
getting
like
all
real
riled up thinking about
adrenaline
it again. It really was. Straight adrenaline. That's what it was. Oh, it was so wild.
No, it was because I remember after my plane landed, I was thinking, I hope she's okay. Hours later,
I was
because
not okay.
Crazy. It was so implausible and yet possible. This shit is weird. This shit is very
weird.
Strange, but also deserved. I mean, you were bound to meet her one day, you know? Like,
it had to happen.
How could it not have happened? So I actually saw the girl that got you the tickets.
Yeah.
Just a couple days ago at Glassjaw's last show. And I was like, hey, girl. I just want to say thank you again for getting my friend those tickets. And then I pulled up the picture of you like fucked up over the seats. Like, oh my God. And I was like, she really, really had a great time. And I was like, but I have an addendum to the story. And she's like, what? And I was like, bro, she was just vacationing in Florida and she met Tori Amos. She's like, get out of here. And she's like, isn't she so sweet? And like, I guess when you work with her, she's a real person and she's a regular person, and she's like, isn't she so nice? I was like, yeah. Just like so many little ripples. You threw the pebble in the lake and then ding, 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 ding. So many little ripples, and then they all came back together. This shit was crazy. It was really, really crazy. It really doesn't make any sense, but then makes perfect sense. Because you could have not gone in the store. Like, I know you've wound it a million times.
Yeah. I mean, I kept thinking, like, what if we would have stopped into here? What if we would have gone in here? What if I didn't talk to this lady about, you know, one of the ladies in the shop was asking us, you know, where we were from. And I was like, what if I didn't stop to talk to her? What if I didn't make this purchase? Like, I mean, she was literally paying for her purchase and then leaving. So, and right after that, right after we walked out, it started pouring down rain. So I'm assuming that they got in their car and went home. So it really, like, everything aligned. There, I mean, honestly, this is not a coincidence. I don't care if you're yelling at me through your phone right now telling me that the woo-woo has gone too far, because I have to believe,
dude,
that all of this time, all of this energy, everything had to align for this one moment, and
Yes.
I didn't meet her before this time because there were so many times in the past where it could have happened.
well, so many
At a
times in the
show.
past where it could have happened, but also didn't happen because it wasn't
Didn't
the time.
happen. Right.
And like, yeah, people are gonna be like, "That's fucking bullshit," bro. How do you explain it though? Then
Right.
how you
Like
gonna explain it?
we weren't supposed to go to Florida. That wasn't the plan this year.
Same. See? No, and you booked a last minute. It wasn't like, and you are organized. You are fucking not a spontaneous traveler like that. You are a planner, and if you didn't have this planned by August, it wasn't going to happen in December. But then here you were in November, like, I guess we should just do it, which is not you, but it was
Right.
you.
And we haven't been to Florida since 2019. Like, Chris has really been like, we are not spending money in Ron DeSantis' Florida. And I'm like, but I really love Jensen Beach. And he's like, we're not going to do it. So it even took some convincing when it came to choosing where we were going for Christmas vacation.
I know, and
And I was just like, oh, it's been so long, please.
I hate to like that's how I feel about Florida too. I just keep getting drawn there, and the fact that we are still living in this very weird parallel universe. I don't know, like I don't know. It is all very, very strange.
It's very strange.
The fact that you're texting with Burnett Beck, making plans with the children, like, what? Like, we have gotten to a very special place
It is so
with this
strange.
friendship.
I mean, it really is. It is such a strange, I don't know. I think that kind of came to mind as well, over the weekend as I was thinking about just like how wild it was that everything culminated in this moment. And then I was just like, this isn't unlike us coming together in the first iteration of my podcast. And
everyone's gonna say it's bullshit, woo woo, da da da. But I'm telling you, these things happen for a reason, and they happened at the time that they happened for a reason. And it was all so you could meet Tori Amos. I swear to God.
It really is. It is really crazy. But yes, I thank you for picking up my phone call. I apologize because I think I was real rude because you started to talk and I was like, stop talking. I have to tell you this.
No, and then you were rude again, and you were like, she was wearing an outfit you would wear, black sunglasses, an old ratty black sweater. I was like, what the fuck was that supposed to mean?
I'm so sorry.
It was a Melissa Beck outfit. I was like, okay, I don't know what do you mean, shitty black sweater?
No, I didn't say. I said ratty. First of all,
You did say ratty. And sunglasses, and I was like, and then I looked down, and that's literally what I was wearing.
she did have on jeans, which we all know you wouldn't have on.
No, but a
but
sensible
remember
sneaker,
last
that's what I would
December-
do.
when we met up, you had this like black cardigan on. I feel like every time, maybe just on Sunday, I don't know, like it was like a nubby, like you had on a nubby black cardigan, and she had on a nubby black sweater. I'm you know what, Melissa, I was having a really hard time.
Well, first of all, I had on a black and white cardigan.
Okay.
It was like static, TV static color.
Yeah.
But whatever. I do feel I do love Tori Amos's elder stylish lady vibe, she just always looks comfortable but also very stylish at the same time. Like her matching sets, I'm like, yes, girl.
I know. I was like, oh God, I should have told her how much we loved her sets for the concert and how
sets
like
are
we would
great.
go through the pictures. Ugh, her glasses.
Yeah, her sets
The
are she's
shoes.
fantastic. Yeah, and but like all of it is stuff that she can move in because she's physically up there doing cardio.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was crazy, Amanda. I mean, I could talk about it. It's not normal. It's normal, but it's not normal. You really manifested that shit. But the
I really manifested it.
the manifesting started many years ago. Many, many, many years ago. And then she carried you through
Yeah.
so many things this past spring, summer, fall, winter, you know? It's I don't know, put you where you're supposed to be.
It really did. It really did. Her music has shaped a lot of who I am and who I have been. And so I think that that's why I was having a hard, like, Chris didn't understand. And I was just like, really? Like, we've been together long enough. I don't understand, like, how you can't comprehend that this is I don't even know I don't even know how to, like, compare it to something.
I've seen it.
But
I know you don't have to explain it to me because I've seen it. When motherfuckers meet Justin Beck and they've been listening to Glassjaw for a real long, it's a music thing specifically because there is a out of body, intangible, spiritual thing that people have when they relate to music.
yeah.
When that music can then translate and transcribe and has become the soundtrack to their life, and they
Yes.
can put that particular artist in the places where they were creating or experiencing core memories that are rooted in love, trauma, pain, sadness, excitement, joy, accomplishment. There are people who attach those things to different artists and different music, and it's a way that your brain works. And so that has worked for you with her music, but specifically with her, because remember too, you chose her as a form of rebellion in a very, young and controlled time of your life. So like, she was your escape. She was your, oh, you can't tell me what to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. And this lady's doing different things, and that's what I aspire to do. You know what I mean? So like, it was with you from baby, your 14-year-old baby brain, to your 41-year-old adult brain that is still like vibing with her. That kind of attachment to an artist for multiple decades where they grow with you. You don't grow out of their music, you grow into their music. Not that I have that, I'm fucking whatever, but I've seen people have that experience when they're talking to Justin Beck, where they're just on the sidewalk meeting him, and they're like, and I get it, because they're like, you don't understand, I went through this, and then they start going, and then this happened to me, and Justin's standing there like, man, that's cool, man, thank you. Because as that artist that's like, wow, I made something that matters to this person, it's sentimental, and like you're standing there and you kind of don't know what to do, but both people are experiencing an exchange of mutual love and respect that is hard to fucking explain.
I'm like misty over here, because that is, you just explained that so beautifully in a way that I can't, but that's exactly it. Oh my God, Melissa. Wow.
Yeah.
That is exactly
and
it.
I've seen it happen, and like he, cause he likes to play Mr. Modesty. I'll be like, oh, and like, after he has an exchange with a person that likes Glassjaw, I'll rub his back and be like, oh, that was nice, and he'll be like, okay, and I know he's like uncomfortable with that level of applause or like praise,
Yeah.
but I'm like, babe, you created music that helped someone through some fucked up shit,
Yeah.
and that is like so personal and so special and so inexplicable that and it's going to be different for everybody. And so like, I'm like, that's beyond music. That's beyond artistry. That's like the essence of being human, which sounds like you're putting a lot on it, but it's really true. Just think about like a piece of written work that you like, and imagine if you got to talk about that written work with the person that wrote it. Or think about, you know, I don't know, like imagine meeting fucking George Nelson. You'd be like, bitch, I love your fucking furniture. Like, what the fuck? You know?
Yeah.
Anybody that brings like a very specific joy into your life, you fucking ride for that person for a long time, and you have liked her for the majority of your life.
Right. Yeah.
You know? And so she's kind of like her own person, this vessel walking around in the world, but she's like a fucking, like a lighthouse. She's like a beacon. And there's millions of people that have the same exact feeling for her, but in their own iteration. Like, that shit is think about that shit. That shit is crazy. And it's not celebrity.
Yeah, no,
That we're even, you know what I mean? That we're even celebrating here. It was a celebrity sighting, but it was like y'all fucking, you know, the magnet socks?
Yeah.
Or like when Care Bears link and the it's fucking crazy. And I only know this because I've watched it happen to Justin Beck a couple times now, and I'm just like, yeah, that person is feeling that shit. That person is like, I cannot believe this just happened to me. I've seen Daryl Palumbo get stopped when we're walking into a venue, and a person just like, bro, like they just like, they're like holding their head onto their shoulders. They can't believe this shit.
It really is like that. It's so crazy. Yeah, Chris was just like, he's like, that's cool. He's like, I've met like X, Y, and Z. And I was like, but you don't understand. I was like, it's different. I was just like, I had the opportunity to thank someone for their art. And this is someone that, you know, whose art has been a mirror at times and been a way to express myself when I didn't know how to, or like open me up to things that I didn't, you know about or know existed. And so, yeah, you said it way better than I did, so I'm gonna shut up now. But yeah, I met Tori, and it was the greatest moment of my life. Maybe better than having my children.
I mean, it's up there.
I mean, it's up there. It's up there. I would say like meeting Chris, having my kids, Tori Amos, right there.
Listen, and like when the time comes and you start to see the light, and you know when your life flashes before your eyes in the 10 seconds before you're zapped into the fucking, you know, bright light of death.
Yeah. You're
going to have that picture. Hopefully it's the one I have where I made the tiny Tori sitting in your crotch. You're going to have you're going to vividly experience that 5-minute exchange in a nanosecond all over again. Like, you will revisit that moment, and it'll be just as real as it was when it was. It's one of those. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tangentially, and it's literally not the same. But again, right place, right time. All of these things had to align for this to happen. While we're in Florida visiting my sister, we have to, you know, kill time or make time or whatever, because we, you know, she had certain things that she had to do before we could go visit her and see her.
Yeah.
And so one of the days, Justin's like, I was uncomfortable when I was performing the other night. I don't want to wear that shirt again, but I want to wear something like it. And then he gave me all this criteria. It's got to do this. It's got to wick sweat away. It's got to do this. It's got to have a hood. It's got to have a pocket. It's got to be able to zip up to the neck. It's got to be able to zip down. It was a lot of shit. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay. So we went into the mall and started looking for this very specific piece of clothing that he could comfortably and confidently wear on stage for the next 3 shows. And I was determined to find it. So we went into every store in this mall, and then I found it. And so Justin Beck is at the height of his suburban dad career, because he now wears ALO.
Okay. Justin Beck is bougie.
Yes. I was like, okay, suburban daddy. So and he doesn't know what that is, but you know, we'd gone into Hugo Boss, we've gone into all these places, and I'm like, I know what he wants, and it's athleisure for dudes, and it's not going to be cheap, and I know that. So we go into the store, and you know, it's leggings, and it's socks, and it's tennis skirts, and whatever. And he's like, what? And I was like, shh. So we go, and I see the item exactly that he's talking about. It's exactly the piece, and I'm like, I think this would be breathable material. I think you can zip it, you could unzip it. I think your arms will be able to move. You can zhuzh the sleeve. You could not zhuzh the sleeve. There's the pocket in the middle. You can put your phone. You can not put your phone. And also the fabric itself, if your instrument is rubbing up against you, you're not going to feel gross.
Yeah.
And it's sweat wicking. It's all these things. And we take it off the rack, and there's exactly one of them, and it fits him. And then he looks at the price, and it says $178. And he goes, 107. He's so upset. I was like, babe, that's what, I'm like, that's what it is. He's like, you think they're going to have like a Christmas sale or something? I was like, no, I said, I don't know, but I was like, I know that this brand is very expensive, and it is what it is, and you kind of just got to do it. And I was like, and I was also like, but babe, you're 50 years old. You've earned it. Like, why not? You know, like I'm also, you know, frugal, but I'm also like, this is a very specific item that you are wanting so that you can do your job.
Yeah.
And you need it. It'll pay for itself. So, like, you know, and you know Justin Beck. He wears a uniform. He does.
Right.
So you will see him in this thing. I was like, your cost per wear is going to be great. Because I know that I'm going to see you in this motherfucker every day.
Yeah.
And he's going to find reasons to wear it outside of performing. So we leave it in the store, and he's like, if I wake up in the morning and I still feel like I need to have it, we'll come back before we get on the plane and we'll get it. And I was like, I guess, girl, we should just get it right now. And he's like, no, I got to sleep on it. $178. Okay.
I can't believe that.
So we're walking through the Nordstroms. We leave there. We walk through the Nordstrom, which is where we parked. And I see a guy. He's, you know, he's a scene dude. He's got tattoos on his neck, tattoos on his hands, all black outfit, stretched ears, but no longer putting the stretch thing in him. And he rolls up on Justin, and he says, "Excuse me, I'm so sorry. This is so weird. Is your name Justin Beck?" and Justin goes, "No, who's Justin Beck?" And
Oh no!
so not gracious like Tori.
Oh shoot, Justin.
And the guy goes, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I thought you were someone else." And then Justin's like, "No, for real, who is Justin Beck?"
Oh shoot!
And the guy goes, "Oh, he's just this guy in a band I really like. I'm sorry to bother you." And Justin's like, "Man, I'm fucking with you. Yeah, I'm Justin Beck." And the guy's like, "Oh my God." And the guy's with his girlfriend.
Got a whole range of emotions.
Yes. And the guy's with his girlfriend, and I see the girlfriend's like happy for him. You know, she's like smiling all big. And the guy's like, "Oh my gosh, this is crazy." And then he goes, "Because you're going to think this sounds crazy, but last year at exactly this time in this mall, I thought I saw you. And I said to myself, why would Justin Beck of Glassjaw be in a mall in Tampa at Christmas? That would be weird." And he was like, and so when I just saw you again, I thought, why is Justin Beck in the mall in Tampa the following Christmas? And Justin was like, yeah, that would be really fucking weird. But yeah, it was me. And he goes, and I was here last year at this time.
Oh my God, this poor kid.
and then he was like, really? Like, what are you doing here? And Justin's like, my wife's from here, and we visit her family, and we happen to be here. last Christmas, he's like, yeah, it's me. And he's like, man, I just really love your music. Like, thank you so much. And, you know, he said the things, your music did this and that for me, etc. And I was like, oh, that's so nice. And I'm standing there like, oh. And in my mind, I'm like, do they know who I am? They don't. It's okay. I'm gonna let them have it. Even though I'm from here, you don't know hometown people, okay. You know. It was just really sweet and it was really cute. But I was like, babe, when people are excited to meet you, you gotta be like. He's like, whatever, it's funny. He's like, it's like, I think it's funny that I'm, you know, the ghost of Glass Jaw's passed in Tampa. That's fucking hilarious. He's like, I now want to be in the mall every day after Christmas in Tampa forevermore. Have chance encounters. It was very sweet.
Oh my gosh.
So not as exciting or as big as Tori Amos, but for one guy in the International Mall in Tampa, you know, he had a moment.
Aw.
Miracles ain't nothing to lie. Shaggy's little boys look just like Shaggy, and my little boy looks just like Daddy. Miracles each and everywhere you look, and nobody has to stay where they put. This world is yours for you to explore. It's nothing but miracles beyond your doors. The Dark Carnival is your invitation to witness that without explanation. Take a look at this fine creation and enjoy it better with appreciation. Crows, ghosts, the midnight coast, the wonders of the world, mysteries, the